Hey everyone, I'm Sarah. Just your average 21-year-old college student trying to juggle classes, a part-time job, and of course, family drama. Like a soap opera minus the glam. Sarah, can you pick up an extra shift this weekend? My boss called as I was about to leave work. I sighed, thinking about my upcoming midterms. Sure thing, I'll make it work. That's been my life lately, always making it work, stretched thinner than my wallet after paying bills. Speaking of bills, my family is a whole different story. My parents split when I was a kid, and my dad, Tom, remarried fast. Enter Karen, my stepmom, and her daughter Emily, who's about as pleasant as a root canal. One evening, I called my dad. Hey, the electric bill's due tomorrow. Oh shoot, I forgot. Can you cover it this month, sweetie? Business has been slow. That's the routine now since Dad's construction business hit hard times. I've been helping out, even though I'm barely keeping my own head above water. No problem, Dad. I've got it, I said, mentally calculating how many extra hours I'd need to work. Meanwhile, Emily lives her best life, not lifting a finger or paying a dime. One day, when I stopped by Dad's, she asked, Sarah, where's my allowance? Allowance? Emily, you're 18. Get a job. She rolled her eyes and whined, but Daddy said you'd handle it. Of course he did. Emily's the golden child, and I'm the family ATM. Despite everything, I've been busting my butt to keep my grades up. No way am I letting my GPA tank just because I'm playing financial firefighter. One day after class, I approached Professor Jackson. Could I get an extension on that paper? I asked, feeling guilty. Sarah, this is the third time this semester. Is everything all right? I forced a smile. Yeah, just a lot on my plate. I'll have it by Friday, I promise. Just when I thought I had everything under control, Dad dropped a bomb. Sarah, we need to have a serious talk about your future, he said over the phone, making my stomach sink. Sure, Dad. What's up? Come by tomorrow night, it's important. As I hung up, I had a feeling my carefully balanced life was about to crash down. The next evening, I pulled up to Dad's house, nerves on edge. I just aced my exams and hoped this would finally make him proud. Hey, Dad, you won't believe what happened in my econ class. Sarah, sit down, we need to talk. His serious tone made my heart race. Karen and Emily were sitting there, looking far too somber for comfort. What's going on? Honey, you know Emily's starting college soon, Dad began. Yeah, and? Well, we've been thinking, it might be best if you took a break from school just for a little while. I blinked, sure I misheard. A break? Why? To work full-time. Emily needs help with her tuition. Hold up. You want me to drop out to pay for Emily's college? It's not dropping out, it's just postponing, Karen chimed in. Are you kidding me? I'm already busting my ass to help with bills here. Dad shifted uncomfortably. I know, and we appreciate it, but Emily needs this opportunity. You're older, you can always go back later. Later. Dad, I'm in the middle of my degree. I can't just pause my life. Don't be so dramatic, Emily rolled her eyes. It's not like your art history degree is curing cancer. It's economics, you brat, and that's not the point. Sarah, watch your tone, Karen snapped. We're asking you to be a team player. A team player. I've been carrying this whole team for years. I'm drowning in student loans, working 2 jobs, and now you want me to sacrifice my education for Emily. It's your duty as the older sibling, Dad said firmly. Emily deserves a chance too. And what about my chance? The one I'm working my butt off for. Oh please, Emily scoffed. Like you're not already privileged enough. Privileged? Are you serious right now? I barely sleep and work nonstop. At least you've had the luxury to even think about college. Emily pouted. It's my turn now. Your turn? This isn't a carnival ride, Emily. It's my future we're talking about. Sarah, don't be selfish, Karen said sharply. Family helps family. Selfish. I've been paying half your mortgage. I even bought Emily's prom dress when you were short on cash. Dad looked down, clearly uncomfortable. We know you've helped out. Dad, I've been keeping this family afloat, and now you're asking me to sink my own ship? I could hardly believe what I was hearing. It's not forever, Sarah, Dad insisted. Just until Emily gets settled. And how long is that, Dad? A year? 4? What about my loans? My career plans? We'll figure it out, Karen chimed in dismissively. The important thing is supporting Emily right now. Tears of frustration welled up in my eyes. I can't do this. I won't. Sarah, be reasonable, Dad pleaded. Reasonable? You're asking me to sacrifice everything I've worked for so Emily can party through freshman year, on my dime. Hey, Emily protested. I'm going to study stuff. This is insane. I'm out of here. I stormed out, ignoring their calls. Once I got in my car, the tears came in a rush. I fumbled for my phone. Alex, are you free? I need to talk. 20 minutes later, I was at Alex's place, spilling everything between sobs. They want you to what? Are they out of their minds? Apparently, I can't believe Dad would ask this of me. Sarah, you've got to stop enabling them. They're taking advantage of you. But their family doesn't treat you like an ATM. You've got to cut them off. Cut them off? I can't just. Why not? They're ready to flush your future down the toilet. It's time to put yourself first. I wiped my eyes, letting Alex's words sink in. Maybe it was time for a change. You're right, I can't keep doing this. But how do I make them understand? Sometimes people only learn when they face consequences. Maybe it's time they felt what it's like without your support. As the idea took root, I felt a strange mix of fear and determination. You're right. It's time for a wake-up call. I've got an idea, but I need your help. I'm all in. What's the plan? We're going to create a fake job offer, something big, something that'll make them realize what they're losing. Oh, I like where this is going. What kind of job? A marketing position at a startup in California. It's far enough that I'd have to move. Perfect. I've got a friend in graphic design who can whip up a legit offer letter. A week later, I was ready to drop the bomb. My heart raced as I dialed Dad's number. Hey, Dad. Got a minute? I've got some news. Sure, what's up, honey? I'm quitting my job. I got an offer in California, a great opportunity, so I'm taking it. California? But what about our bills? I can't keep supporting everyone, Dad. I need to focus on my future now. But Sarah, we need you. What about Emily's tuition? I'm sure you'll figure it out. You wanted me to focus on my future, right? Well, this is me doing that. I hung up, feeling a mix of guilt and satisfaction. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of panicked calls and texts. Sarah, please, we can't make rent this month. I'm sorry, Dad, but I've got my own expenses to worry about now. But your sister. Emily's a big girl. She can get a job like I did. From afar, I watched as my family's house of cards started to collapse. Dad took on extra shifts at his construction job, coming home exhausted every night. Tom, we need to talk about our finances, I overheard Karen saying one evening when I stopped by to pick up some mail. I'm trying, Karen. I picked up another project, but it's not enough. Well, it has to be. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I applied for a job at Burger Baron. You what? But you haven't worked in years. Do you think I want to flip burgers? We don't have a choice. Meanwhile, Emily was having her own meltdown. This is so unfair. Why should I have to get a job? I'm supposed to be focusing on school. Welcome to the real world, sis, I muttered under my breath. But it wasn't all about proving a point. I made sure Mom was taken care of, secretly helping her set up a small online business to sell her handmade jewelry. Sarah, honey, this website is amazing. How did you afford this? Don't worry about it, Mom. I'm just glad you're doing what you love. As the weeks turned into months, Dad's calls grew more desperate. Sarah, please, we're drowning here. Can't you help us out, just a little? I'm sorry, Dad, but I've got my own bills to pay. How's Emily's job search going? She's struggling, says no one will hire her. Gee, I wonder why, I muttered, remembering all the times Emily looked down on my part-time jobs. Despite the guilt gnawing at me, I stuck to my guns. I threw myself into my studies, acing exams and impressing my professors. Sarah, your latest paper was outstanding, Professor Chen told me after class. Have you considered applying for our summer research program? Really? That would be amazing. As I left campus that day, I saw another missed call from Dad. I hesitated for a moment, then put my phone away. They needed to learn, and I needed to stand firm. 3 months passed in a blur, and it was time to face the music. I pulled up to Dad's house, bracing myself for what I might find. The lawn was overgrown, and the place looked like it had seen better days. I barely knocked before the door swung open. Dad's face was a mix of relief and desperation. "Sarah, thank God you're back. We've been." "Save it, Dad. I'm here to talk, not to bail you out." I stepped inside, and the sight hit me like a punch. Dishes piled high, clothes strewn everywhere. In the living room, Karen and Emily were mid-argument. "This is all your fault. If you just gotten a job like Sarah said." "My fault? You're the one who married a man who can't even pay his own bills." "Hey, that's enough, both of you." They turned, shocked to see me. Emily recovered first, sneering. "Well, look who decided to grace us with her presence. How's the big city treating you, Miss High and Mighty?" I couldn't help but laugh. "Oh, Emily, I never left town." The room went dead silent. Dad looked like he'd seen a ghost. "What do you mean you never left?" "I mean there was no job in California. I've been here the whole time, watching you all implode." Karen gasped. "You lied to us. How could you?" "How could I? Let's talk about how you've treated me for years." I turned to Dad, my voice trembling with anger. "You always favored Emily. No matter what I did, it was never enough. I paid your bills, kept this family afloat, and you had the audacity to ask me to give up my future for her." Dad stammered. "I didn't realize." "Save it." I looked at Karen. "And you, Karen, you've been manipulating Dad since day one. Gold digger doesn't even begin to cover it. You've never worked a day in your life. Until now, have you?" Karen's face turned red with fury. "How dare you?" "I've been a homemaker. You've been a leech," I shot back. Finally, I turned to Emily. "And you? Did you really think the world owed you a free ride? That you could coast through life on other people's hard work?" Emily scoffed, but I saw the uncertainty in her eyes. "Newsflash, sis. The world doesn't care about your entitlement. It's time to grow up." Dad stepped forward, his eyes pleading. "Sarah, please. We've learned our lesson. We'll do better, I promise. Just don't leave us like this." I took a deep breath. This was it. "It's too late, Dad. I'm done. And so are you with this house, at least." "What do you mean?" "The house is in my name, remember? I'm selling it. You've got 30 days to find a new place." Karen shrieked. "You can't do that. We'll be homeless." "Should have thought of that before you tried to derail my life." I turned to Emily. "Oh, and all those bills and subscriptions I've been paying? They're canceled. Effective immediately." Emily started to cry, real tears this time. "But where will we go?" "That's not my problem anymore. I'm cutting ties permanently. I've accepted a real job offer out of state. I'm starting fresh, without any of you dragging me down." Dad fell to his knees, sobbing. "Sarah, please, we're family. Give us another chance. We'll make it right, I swear." I felt a twinge of guilt but squashed it down. Family doesn't treat each other like ATMs, Dad. You had your chance, years of chances. You showed me who you really are, and I believe you. I turned to leave, but Emily grabbed my arm. "You can't just leave us with nothing." I yanked my arm away. "Watch me. Welcome to the real world, Emily. Time to sink or swim on your own." As I walked out, I heard them arguing again, blaming each other for pushing me away. I got in my car, my hands shaking as I gripped the steering wheel. It hurt, yeah, but for the first time in years, I felt free. The road ahead was uncertain, but at least it was mine to choose. I wondered if I had been too harsh on my family, or if they deserved every bit of what they got. How far would you go to teach toxic relatives a lesson?